In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on November 1st, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Orlando Magic versus Cleveland Cavaliers. On Friday night, the Orlando Magic will head to Cleveland to face the red-hot Cavaliers in a matchup that's a rematch of last year's opening round Eastern Conference playoff series. The Magic currently sit at 3-2 for the season after taking a loss to the Chicago Bulls on Wednesday night. In contrast, the Cavaliers have gotten off to a blazing start, holding the best record in the Eastern Conference with an impressive 5-0 after their recent victory over the Los Angeles Lakers on Wednesday. Orlando is dealing with injury challenges, which could impact their performance for the foreseeable future. Paolo Banchero has been ruled out for at least the next 4 weeks, leaving a significant gap in the Magic's lineup. Additionally, forward Franz Wagner's status remains questionable, making it unclear if he will play. Meanwhile, the Cavaliers also have some roster challenges, with Craig Porter Jr. and Max Strus still sidelined. Despite these absences, Cleveland has shown a dominant offensive strategy this season, transforming their approach from one dependent on Donovan Mitchell's isolation play to a more dynamic, ball movement-focused offense. This shift has paid dividends, placing the Cavs at the top of the league in shooting accuracy and as the second most efficient offense. Defensively, they've also embraced a style reminiscent of the Celtics, with versatile defenders like Darius Garland, Mitchell, and Evan Mobley covering multiple positions seamlessly. This defensive adaptability has propelled them to a top 4 ranking in both scoring defense and defensive efficiency. In comparison, while the Magic maintain a strong defensive presence in the East, they lag behind Cleveland offensively, ranking only 16th in field goal percentage. If Wagner sits out, Orlando's scoring limitations could become even more pronounced against Cleveland's high-powered offense. Cleveland's front court, led by the formidable duo of Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, has proven difficult for opponents to handle. In their previous game against the Lakers, Mobley was highly effective, posting 25 points on just 16 shots within 19 minutes of play and achieving a +13 rating, despite a few turnovers. Although Mobley's rebound total was modest, Allen dominated the boards with a whopping 17 rebounds, taking charge of the glass. With Wagner potentially out or limited due to illness, Mobley and Allen could once again assert their dominance in the paint. Banchero is expected to score his share of points, but he may struggle to find easy opportunities against a Cleveland team that ranks 4th in defensive efficiency. In recent history, the home team has had the upper hand in this series, winning the last 7 matchups, with the victor covering the spread in 9 of the previous 10 encounters. Orlando's defensive strength is commendable, but their offensive limitations could prove problematic, particularly with Banchero's absence and Wagner's uncertain availability. The Cavaliers, on the other hand, have been one of the most impressive teams early in the season, covering the spread in each of their 5 victories. Although Orlando has the depth to manage Banchero's absence against weaker opponents, facing a team as strong as Cleveland may be too challenging. Given the Magic's injuries, this game has the potential to be one-sided, making the Cleveland Cavaliers to win and cover the spread as favorites as our full game side pick. The clash between the Magic and Cavaliers showcases 2 of the Eastern Conference's top defensive teams. While Cleveland has increased their pace under new head coach Kenny Atkinson, this matchup will likely resemble a classic, hard-fought battle between 2 familiar foes. Heading into this game, the Cavaliers and Magic hold the 4th and 5th ranks in defensive rating, respectively. The Magic's recent contest against the Bulls was a low-scoring affair, and this game could follow a similar pattern. If Wagner is limited, Orlando's offensive output may be even further restricted. Therefore, under the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Knicks versus Detroit Pistons. The New York Knicks will be on the road to face the Detroit Pistons this Friday, November 1st, in what promises to be a critical matchup for both teams. Each team is eager to build momentum by securing back-to-back wins for the first time in the 2024 season. The Knicks are riding high after a 116-107 victory against the Miami Heat on the road, while the Pistons earned their first win of the season with a 105-95 road win over the Philadelphia 76ers. This game presents an opportunity for both squads to test their consistency and start establishing a rhythm early in the season. The Knicks enter this game with a few key players still sidelined due to injuries. Notably, Mitchell Robinson remains out, and Karl Anthony Towns is listed as questionable, which could impact the Knicks' interior presence and rebounding capabilities. On the other hand, the Pistons will continue to play without Ausar Thompson, which might limit their offensive versatility. Given Detroit's recent strong performance against the spread and the Knicks' preference for a slower pace, this matchup may remain competitive throughout. The Knicks are undoubtedly the stronger team overall and should be able to manage the game's tempo, but the 6.5-point spread leaves room for the Pistons to keep it close and potentially cover. The Pistons are still aiming for their first home win this season, and a close finish would feel disappointing if they fail to convert their shooting opportunities into points. While the Knicks are the favored team and clearly possess a talent advantage, the spread is challenging, especially given their injury concerns, with Towns' questionable status adding uncertainty. The Pistons have struggled to secure victories but have shown resilience on defense, holding their own recently against strong teams like the Heat and Celtics. Detroit's scrappy preseason effort has carried over to their first 5 regular season games, showing they can remain competitive even if they aren't converting these efforts into wins just yet. Their defensive tenacity has kept them within reach, allowing them to cover spreads even as underdogs. Thus, the Detroit Pistons to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The Pistons' 98-106 loss to the Heat on Monday was the only game this season where either team was held to under 100 points. Surrounding that performance, the Pistons scored 118 and 105 points in other outings, showing they can put up solid offensive numbers. Meanwhile, the Knicks have scored 123 and 116 points in their wins, indicating their own scoring capabilities. While there are several factors suggesting that the game could trend toward the under, the 217.5-point total for this matchup is relatively low. This line represents the lowest over-under for the Pistons so far this season, even though they've only hit the over once in 5 games. Given these factors, there's a reasonable chance that the total points could exceed 217.5. Therefore, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Boston Celtics versus Charlotte Hornets. The Boston Celtics, holding a 4-1 record, will head to North Carolina to face off against the Charlotte Hornets, who currently sit at 2-2 in a Friday night matchup. This marks the first of 2 back-to-back games between these teams, as they are set to meet again on Saturday. The Celtics are coming off their first loss of the season, a thrilling overtime battle against the Indiana Pacers, in which they fought back from a daunting 24-point deficit. Meanwhile, the Hornets balanced their record to .500 after a hard-fought win over the Toronto Raptors on Wednesday night. All 4 of Charlotte's games so far this season have been tightly contested, each decided by 8 points or fewer. In terms of roster availability, the Celtics are managing without Kristaps Porzingis, who remains sidelined. On the other hand, the Hornets enter the game with a full lineup, as they have no injuries reported. The Celtics had been the league's hottest team with an impressive 4-game win streak, but their momentum took a hit with a slow start against the Pacers, ultimately costing them the game. The Hornets, now healthy, have shown flashes of promise on the court, though their recent win over the struggling Raptors was far from dominant. While Boston has the talent to overpower most teams, including the Hornets, Charlotte has been competitive in its first few games. The Hornets currently rank 4th in the league in scoring and 5th in 3-point shooting percentage, making them a credible offensive threat. With the defending champions visiting, the arena should be buzzing, adding energy for this young, high-scoring Hornets team. Defense remains a question mark for Charlotte, but they've proven they can put up enough points to stay in close games. Although the Celtics are favored to win, the Hornets' scoring ability and confidence could keep this one closer than expected. Therefore, the Charlotte Hornets to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both the Celtics and Hornets rank among the league's top scoring teams, and there's little reason to expect a defensive showdown. Both teams have struggled on defense, which could lead to a high-scoring affair. For Boston, they have two players averaging over 25 points per game, along with solid depth across their roster to keep the scoring pace high. The Hornets' LaMelo Ball is one of the league's elite point guards in scoring, and while Boston is expected to control the game, Charlotte will likely manage to contribute a fair share of points. Notably, the over has hit in the last 5 meetings between these two teams, as well as in both teams' recent games, reflecting a trend toward high-scoring outcomes. With all signs pointing to another offensive showcase, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.